Star Wars 7x7, episode 2625. It continues to be a big month for video games. There was no indication that we were going to be getting all sorts of announcements about video games as we started this month, but hey, I guess this is the month for it. So the PlayStation Showcase happened yesterday, and there was a big announcement about a Star Wars game making a grand level return of sorts. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So Knights of the Old Republic is originally a video game that was released back in 2003 for the Xbox and for PC, and at this point, it is basically the only thing tied to Legends that is still actively being developed, right? So, you know, when the canon rebooted it in 2014, no more Legend stories were being told except for within the whole Knights of the Old Republic situation. And over the years, Lucasfilm Games has partnered with a company called Asper to bring various Star Wars games to other platforms like iOS and Android and Nintendo Switch. And that includes games like Knights of the Old Republic 1 and Knights of the Old Republic 2, subtitled The Sith Lords, as well as games like Republic Commando and Star Wars Racer and Jedi Knight 1, which is the Jedi Academy 1, and Jedi Knight 2, which is Jedi Outcast. But now at the PlayStation Showcase 2021 that just happened yesterday, a big announcement, and this is the biggest game development from Asper and Lucasfilm Games. The Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake that is going to bring it up to the full capabilities of what modern video gaming can deliver. It is being released as what they call a timed console exclusive. So basically what that means is that PlayStation 5 is going to get a window of time where it will only be available on the PlayStation 5 and not on other consoles like the Xbox, for example. And it will also be available on PC at the launch whenever that happens. Now, in full disclosure, I'm aware of Knights of the Old Republic, but I have never played it, didn't know really what the deal was with it. So here is the official scoop on the story, which is fascinating. It says it's 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire, so way back, and hundreds of Jedi Knights have fallen in battle against the ruthless Sith. As the last hope of the Jedi, you must lead a band of freedom fighters in an epic struggle to save the galaxy. And it continues on to say, can you master the awesome power of the Force on your quest to save the Republic, or will you fall to the lure of the dark side? Hero or villain, savior or conqueror, you must choose wisely, as you alone will determine the destiny of the entire galaxy. And in reading a little bit about the game, and we can talk about characters at another time because that's a whole other situation entirely, it apparently gives you the option to decide whether you're going to go to the light side or the dark side by the game's end, and how the game unfolds and what the results are dependent on the choices you make. And there's an extensive piece about it at StarWars.com that I'll link to at the blog post for this show's episode at SW7x7.com, and also in the show notes for the episode. But you get a sense of how intensely they are going to take this remake, how serious they are going to be in not just saying, oh, we're just gonna, remake it and improve the game engine and be done with it. No, they are really gonna give this some thought. And according to reports that are coming out about this, I guess there's speculation that this won't be just limited to Knights of the Old Republic, that maybe elements of the second installment of Knights of the Old Republic might be integrated into the thing. I guess that's certainly a possibility, but if they're being tasked with remaking the first one and it does well, then why wouldn't they just do the second one? I mean, they already did that for iOS. They have the experience and the talent, and they're apparently adding on to all of their, their employee base, their experience base, their talent base, to be able to develop the original game for the PlayStation situation and the PC situation. So I don't know why they would, bother to add those elements. They would just, make the second one if it works great the first time. But there's also talk in the official story on StarWars.com about deconstructing the story and making sure that they really consider the story choices and what things mean, and reevaluating things with all of the experience that they've had over the years playing the game and developing the game and all that good stuff. And so it sounds like, yeah, maybe they're going to make some tweaks here and there, but you know, why wouldn't they? I mean, it makes sense that they would do that. You say that not having played the original game, but they talk about wanting to recreate the memory of the game that they played, which makes it sound like they're not just going to make a faithful shot-by-shot remake of something, and quite honestly, I think that would be boring if they did it that way anyway. One thing they are doing, though, from the old game is bringing back voice talent that worked on the old game. So the debut little teaser thing that they did featured a voiceover by an actress named Jennifer Hale, who did the voice of Bastila Shan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right for the gamers out there, in the original game. And so she's back on board, and they've teased that other voice talent, other familiar voice talent will be involved, but they don't want to spoil it by giving us any more names just yet. But even bringing Jennifer Hale in is a very big deal. And even if you're not a gamer, you've heard Jennifer Hale's voice before, probably, aside from, you know, other gaming things. She was the voice of Aayla Secura and a couple other folks in the Clone Wars cartoon series, and also one of the pirates in Star Wars Resistance. So she continues to be involved with the brand and is making, I think, what would be considered a triumphant return by getting involved with this remake for Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, and one other thing, if you're not familiar with Knights of the Old Republic, but you play the game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, well, you might actually be familiar with some of the characters from Knights of the Old Republic, because there's an Old Republic faction within the game, and characters within that faction are actually characters that appear in Knights of the Old Republic. So yeah, they are kicking around actively right now, even beyond what's happening with the whole Old Republic stuff in other corners of the gaming galaxy far, far away. And so that's the gist of what we know about this big announcement at the PlayStation Showcase, that Knights of the Old Republic remake is coming to the PlayStation 5 and PC, and it's going to be a timed console exclusive, so eventually we'll probably get to the Xbox, but not right from the jump. And yeah, a little bit of context around the whole situation as well. And that's going to do it for today's episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.